The driver stepping in for Dale Earnhardt's racing team is rookie Kevin Harvick. As you get a look at the white 29 car, Richard Childress saying he will never run a black number 3 car again. Childress thinks that Harvick can meet the challenge and handle the responsibility of stepping in for a legend.
You know, I'd like to say one thing that, you know, Dale Earnhardt was probably the best race car driver there ever is going to be in NASCAR, and nobody will ever replace him. And I think we all know that. So I would hope that you guys don't expect me to replace him, because nobody ever will.
Kevin Harvick, your thoughts on this qualifying run?
I tell you what, this Goodwrench car, just still trying to get used to it. You know, we ran Rockingham eats up the tires so much that we only ran a couple laps hard. So we're just going to go out there and give it everything we've got, and we don't know what we've got, so we're going to find out.
Okay, good luck with it, Kevin. Mike?
Harvick will drive a Richard Childress car here. It will not be the familiar black number 3. Richard has put a moratorium on the number 3 for 1 year, and he says there will never again be a black number 3. Childress has the number 30 reserved for Harvick to run 7 Cup races this year and the full season next. But Richard Childress said he did not want to come to Rockingham with a car that had a 3 anywhere in the number. 29 was available, and that's what they have chosen to run here this weekend.
Here goes the 29 car, guys.
On the speedway is Kevin Harvick out of Bakersfield, California. This is the Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet.
And he is going to have something. He's going to have immediate fan support. He's going to have a lot of people pulling for him. And there's the monument for Dale right out in front of the racetrack out here. People have been so gracious and so kind to that family and what has happened. It just makes my heart feel so good.
The last time this race car saw the racetrack was with Dale winning Atlanta against Bobby Labonte at a photo finish last night. They have not been on the racetrack since.
First lap is 31st, 23.892 for Harvick. That should safely get him into the show. Now this car will have the number 3's provisional position if needed, even though it carries 29.
Kevin and his fiancée going to get married in Las Vegas this weekend.
He saw Michael do that. Worked for him.
Almost lost the car, and the second lap as a result is slow. So Harvick is 31st fastest. That bumps Todd Bodine, who is 39th in owner points and may be headed home. Let's watch this run off turn 4 again.
It's all the way up on the straightaway, and that is what you call very, very loose.
Yeah, that is a product of trying to get back in the gas way over in the, before you even get to the middle of the corner, and carry a lot of speed off the corner, and the car just won't, the track won't hold it.
More speed than the tires will take.
The tires and the track just won't hold that kind of speed. Good idea, it just doesn't work.
So Harvick is 31st, and it moves Ricky Craven onto the bubble. They are 41st in car owner points.
Kevin Harvick in the 29 car, the last car to get in by qualifying time.
And the irony is that Buckshot Jones, number 44, has the 44 cars points from last year, and those points mean he's in the field, but his owner, Kyle Petty, goes home along with rookie Andy Houston.
Reach that. Meanwhile, as Richard Childress Racing begins life without Dale Earnhardt, Kevin Harvick, last year's Rookie of the Year in the Busch Series, he gets bumped up to the Winston Cup Series now full-time. Harvick will be racing this weekend in the white 29 car. You saw it earlier instead of Earnhardt's trademark black 3 car. Now, Harvick knows there's no replacing the Intimidator. All right, so we had to find a driver quickly, and Childress also, when Dale Earnhardt was with us, had this guy, Kevin Harvick, in mind.
Very much so, Chris. What they were doing with Dale Earnhardt as well as with Richard Childress is they were looking for young drivers to bring into Winston Cup. If you'll look over at DEI, what Earnhardt was doing as far as with his own son, Michael Waltrip, Steve Park, for example, that's what they were doing at RCR, and Childress and Earnhardt were working together on all this. So all of a sudden they found this Kevin Harvick. They brought him to Busch last year. They feel like he's going to be one of the forces for the future. But now he's got to step up earlier than what they were ready for. But I believe this young man will do an excellent job. And you don't forget one thing. This is still Earnhardt's team with Childress in control. So he has got the best of the best in his corner. So Kevin Harvick, I think he can be able to handle the pressure. I really do.
Moving up, Kevin Harvick. In the number 2 and 77, Kelly Denton. With Harvick breaking out of traffic on the right side of your screen. Now Harvick will drive for Richard Childress on the rest of the Winston Cup Series, and he will continue to run this car in the Busch Series on the weekends where Busch is companion to Winston Cup at the same racetrack. But he won't run the full Busch Series. About the battle between Kevin Harvick in the 2 and Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 26. They're in 4th and 5th place. That's been interesting.
Bobby Jr. has had a great day. He has been right in the front and in the top 5 or 6 the whole run.
Going to split that slow car. 49 of Robbie Faggart, and
another
right back at it. The 16 of Sammy Sanders.
And here comes Biffle in the picture. This is for all the marbles, as they say. We're running out of laps, and everybody's working hard.
All that, and the 2 of Harvick still hung right with Hamilton.
He's running that car right around the bottom, about like Todd Bodine's been all day long. Watch him here. They go in turn 1 and 2. Bobby Hamilton in the 26 all the way at the top. Greg Biffle going to follow him. But the 2 car, Kevin Harvick, right around the bottom.
When you can hang the bottom and pick up the throttle, you can really go right on around a guy.
Todd Bodine in the 0 car, 3 wide, going into turn 2. Going by Kevin Harvick. This is fresh tires. He took advantage of it as soon as he could, going through 1 and 2.
Yeah, he got a great run off of turn 2. Got him 3 wide down the back, and he will be on his way to victory.
Bodine just uncorked the bottle coming off turn 2 past 2 cars, and now goes for the lead. Todd Bodine rockets past Jeff Green for the lead.
Whoa, look at Kevin Harvick get loose off turn 2 in the blue 2 car.
Do you think Bodine surprised Harvick with that move last lap?
I think he did.
You know what? I don't think he had any idea he was there that fast.
Boy, Biffle is hanging on. He's loose as a goose, and he's got Kenny Wallace all over the back of him.
Todd Bodine says, I led this race. You guys are not going to take it from me. I'm going to get you while I can.
That's right. He is long gone.
Previous to today, Bodine had led a total of 14 laps here. He's led all but, I don't know, about 20 today. He's led 140 laps, so far, and we have 6 to go. And they're 4 wide in the front straightaway again. Look at this.
Boy, Ryan Newman is...
Whoa, and they touched.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
Newman got in the field.
In the outside wall in 66.
Yep. Newman got and that car down on the bottom got tagged hard. Getting set for the restart. There'll be 2 laps to go as Todd Bodine hauls him off to turn 1. Here comes Biffle looking for second.
Harvick got a terrible start. Todd kind of got a jump, and Harvick panicked and near lost second place.
Now, you saw the smoke there. That's where they went through the oil dry, where they put it down on that water and oil from Tim Fedewa's car a while ago.
Harvick's got it hammered down. He's coming after him. He's got the white flag showing him in the face.
It's Todd Bodine's to lose as Jeff Green continues to give up spots. Jeff Purvis goes back past him. Last lap.
Harvick is digging hard.
Single file, the log jams at Jeff Green. 2 cars fight right behind him, but off turn 4, the driver who led 145 laps today, Todd Bodine, gets his 2nd Rockingham win.
Yeah, Todd deserves to win that one.
Kevin Harvick, who finished 2nd. Kevin, tell us about your day. It's been an emotional week.
Yeah, it really has been an emotional week. A lot of stuff goes through your mind when all this stuff starts happening, and especially when you get thrown in the middle of it. But you know, we just play the cards we're dealt, and we're a tough bunch of people. And you know, this AC Delco Monte Carlo was pretty dang good today, but we needed long runs. We didn't need short runs, and I kind of screwed up on the restart and spun the tires, and you know, got us behind and about cost us 2nd. But you know, the big picture is what we're looking for here in the championship race, and we'll just do what we can do.
Good luck tomorrow in that number 29 car. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Well, you're right. There's nothing happy about it. There's really nobody who's excited about being here this afternoon. There is a race to be run, a job to be done, as Bill France Jr. told us on Thursday when asked about whether this race should perhaps have been canceled or postponed. And he said, well, if we postpone Rockingham, then we have to go on a week later and deal with all this at Las Vegas. Sometime, somewhere, we're going to have to come to grips with getting back to the track and back to the business at hand, which today is preparing for tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, I've never been on such an emotional roller coaster. We were calling that race, as people well know, and one minute I was going to Victory Circle to hug my brother and celebrate, And the next minute, I was on my way to the hospital to say goodbye to a friend. So it's been that kind of week. Every day it's been something that we've all had to deal with. I think racing will be the best therapy for everybody.
And I talked to Kevin Hamlin, Dale's crew chief, on Monday. And I told Kevin, I said, every crew chief in the garage can call you and tell you they know how you feel. Larry McReynolds knew how he felt. I was a part of the team that lost Davey Allison in 1993, and I said, it's going to get harder, Kevin. The hardest thing you're ever going to have to do is go to that racetrack with the same parts, the same pieces, the same truck, the same trailer, but that one piece is going to be missing. But you're the captain. Everybody's on your coattail, and you got to be strong, and you got to do what Dale Earnhardt wants you to do. Go to Rockingham and get after him.
There's nothing noble about being here, folks, but it is a part of the healing. We resume normal activity. We've qualified for tomorrow's race. Now we're going to practice for tomorrow's race, and you will see tributes tomorrow to Dale Earnhardt, both from us at Fox and from this racetrack, and then we will go race. Dick Berggren.
Well, the mood in the garage right now is one of deliberate intensity. The goal, focus on this practice session. This is the only practice session the drivers and crews will have to work on their cars with race setup because of the new qualifying procedures and practice procedures here at Rockingham. So this practice session is more intense than most, and that's good. It'll take people's minds off where they really should be and where they want to be. To Steve.
The tributes and the tears will continue through this weekend and for some time to come. This is Richard Childress' car. Kevin Harvick will drive it. Richard did not want the number 3 on it anywhere and did not want a black car here, so they brought this white car, number 29, for Harvick to drive here this weekend, because remember, there are 160 people up at Richard Childress Racing. They depend on the 31 team and the 3 team, and they have to go on as well.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's, we've got to move forward. And I said it a while ago. That's what I know. I worked with him. That's what Dale Earnhardt would want. And the question's been asked all week. Is Winston Cup racing going to change? Rock and roll changed when Elvis Presley, when Buddy Holly died. But it went on. And Winston Cup racing will continue to go on as well.
It really will. And, Dale would, if Dale was here, he'd be, I always think about what he told Jeff Gordon. If you remember when Jeff won his first race at Charlotte in the 600, and Jeff was very emotional. And Jeff went into victory circle, and Jeff was crying. And Earnhardt wore him out, called him a crybaby. And whoa, what are you doing going to victory circle and crying for anyway? And if you remember at the banquet in New York, Jeff offered Dale a toast with a glass of milk because he kidded him about being a kid. So Dale was not the kind of guy that would walk around crying or complaining. He would say, boys, we got a job to do. A lot of people depend on us. Let's get going.
We're here to do that job, and as Kevin Harvick, who has, by the greatest of misfortunes here, an opportunity in front of him. Kevin Harvick out on track with Bobby Labonte. Currently 9th on the speed chart.
And we got to start talking about it early here, Darrell, the speed chart at Rockingham. What's important at Rockingham in the final practice, not what fast lap you can run, it's how fast you are at the end of 10 laps, or how fast you are at the end of 20 laps. That's what's important.
Yeah, that's what the guys are really working on. They're not worried about what their fast lap is. They're worried about what their last lap is. That's what they're worried about.
To him, Kevin Harvick just pulled in, and he has made an interesting call. He said, give me a set of shock absorbers that's just like the set of shocks that were on the Busch car that I just ran. Interesting. The Busch experience apparently is going to help him here in Winston Cup.
That's one of the pluses in running the Busch race. And again, now the motors are closer to the same. There's 100 pounds weight difference. The Busch cars are 100 pound light. The Winston Cup car weighs 3,400 pounds. But at least you learn what the nature of the racetrack is when you run the Busch race. And you can at least transfer that information to, hey, here's what the race did as it progressed.
Yeah, tire wear and what the tires do after long runs is a direct indication of what kind of shocks you need on the car. And they got a million combinations. Digressive, double digressive, linear, digressive, linear, high flows, I don't know. They got spark plugs in them. They got valve springs in them. I never heard the like.
They got more choices than there are cable channels.
Too many choices, I can tell you from working on it.
And sometimes nothing on.
Yep.
Right now what's on is Winston Cup practice for tomorrow's 400-mile Winston Cup race at Rockingham, North Carolina. You're watching it right here on FX. North Carolina Motor Speedway, packed with fans on this February afternoon. Rockingham, the Rock, as it's familiarly called, and every fan entering this speedway received a Dale Earnhardt banner. They all came to their feet when this young man was introduced, Dale Earnhardt Jr., who will race today. In an Earnhardt car, Michael Waltrip won the Daytona 500. He too is here today to carry on. Lost control in yesterday morning's practice session, demolishing his primary car, rolled out the backup car, and though he brushed the wall in turn 4 on his qualifying pass, he's in the show. The third Earnhardt-owned car, driven by Steve Park, fastest in practice, will start from the outside pole. And this young man, Kevin Harvick, elevated from the Busch Series to the Richard Childress team, which will not field a black car today, nor a car with 3 in the number. 29 was the first number available, and that's what they chose. They all come here today with the rest of the NASCAR Winston Cup field to challenge the Rock. Let's go trackside to Steve Burns.
Mike, Richard Childress has been kind enough to talk to us. Richard, everyone wants to know, how do you feel?
We're all saddened today, and we just been praying for the Earnhardt family, and give us all strength. Dale would want us to be strong. He'd be kicking my butt if he knew we were weak now, and it's just so many people that he's touched their lives, and I pray for them. And he was a special person, special friend. We're going to miss him. We got a job to do today. Nobody wants to be here, but we're doing it for Dale today. And Kevin Harvick has stepped up to the plate. He's a great young driver, and we got a lot of confidence in him. Dale had a lot of confidence in him. He kidded around how he was going to hire him, and so I know Dale would be happy with what we've done with putting Kevin in the car. There'll never be, like Kevin said the other day, there'll never be another Dale Earnhardt, and he just wants to be another RCR driver.
Thank you for your grace, Richard.
Thank you.
There was rain here about an hour ago. Track drying efforts continue, and there is a lot of gray in the asphalt, which means the track is drying. This week, amidst cries from people who don't understand this sport or the people in it, to not hold this race, to not bring these cars, to not challenge these drivers, we are all here, and we are set to go racing. Because, if for nothing else, Larry McReynolds, if Dale were here and thought we weren't going racing, he'd kick our butt.
He really would. And I had a conversation with Kevin Hamlin, Dale's crew chief, on Monday. I called Kevin, and I said, Kevin, every crew chief in the garage area can call you and tell you they know how you feel. Larry McReynolds says it knowingly from losing Davey Allison in 1993. And I told him, I said, the toughest day in your life is going to be going back to that racetrack with all the parts, all the pieces you've had, but that one element missing. But you're the captain. You've got to be strong. And we, the broadcasters, the fans, everybody, we've got to do what Dale Earnhardt would want us to do, and that's back here racing.
It took forever to pack our car on Thursday. I didn't want to come here. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to reach this point, this place. But upon coming here and seeing the people in the garage, our friends, our neighborhood, our extended family, on seeing the outpouring of these people in the stands, I and so many people I've talked to are so glad that we are among people of like mind and purpose, and people who today will continue the healing process and who will go on.
It's only fitting that it's raining. I think it's the heavens crying. I think those are tears from heaven, and I think until we get this race underway and get on with the business at hand, those tears are going to fall.
Kevin Harvick, Kevin Hamlin told me this morning that Dale Earnhardt thought an awful lot about you as a person and your ability. How do you feel as we get ready to start this race?
I feel like we have a chance to win the race. We had an awesome car yesterday in happy hour, and it's a tough situation, but it's only as tough as you make it. And I think the 190 people at RCR and the fans and everybody surrounding it has not turned it into a positive, but made it a lot easier on me and made me feel comfortable where I can go out and drive the race car and do what I have to do. And I think I said this in a press conference the other day. If Dale Earnhardt had a broken leg and he couldn't race this weekend, he'd want me to drive the hell out of his race car, and that's what I'm going to do.
Well, tell us how it was in practice. Are you ready for this race?
Yeah, I mean, the race car was good. We only ran the first 45 minutes, and we felt we were as good, if not better, than most of the cars. And I mean, today's a different day, and you never know what's going to happen. But as of yesterday, when I was in my motorhome listening to the rest of them practice, we were fine. So, you know, it's just one of those deals where you don't know what the racetrack's going to be like, and you know, I know how the race car is going to drive, but the weather's not the same, so I really don't. But we'll just go out there and do the best we can, and I think we got one of the best race teams behind us that there is in the business, and I know I've got the best owner in the business, so we're well surrounded, and we'll be fine.
Good luck to you, Kevin. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Terry Labonte, winner here in 83 and 86, and the Winston Cup debut of Kevin Harvick. Pace car is in. Green flag, we're racing. Steve Park dropped right in single file, but Tony Stewart challenged Ricky Rudd. Moves up to third.
Oh, we got trouble already.
3 cars, 4
Dale
cars.
Jr. Dale Jr.
Earnhardt Jr. with Jimmy Spencer, Kenny Wallace, and Mike Wallace. And it is Earnhardt Jr.'s car who comes to rest against the outside wall at turn 4.
This cannot be happening to that young man.
Kenny Wallace goes to the garage. Mike Wallace to pit road. And from the last lap of last Sunday to the first lap of this, everybody trying to tiptoe into that corner.
Yeah. Of course, Kenny Wallace there in the white car, just nowhere to go.
These guys are all just caught up in it and can't nowhere to go. They're bunched up on the start here, and poor Kenny Wallace searching for a sponsor. And here's Junior and
go outside. Outside.
Just ahead of Burton there, Kevin Harvick tapped to drive the Richard Childress car. Richard has said the number 3 will not be used. It's on a moratorium for the balance of this season, and a black number 3 will never be raced again out of the Childress Racing shop. So here this car is in white and with the first available number that does not contain a 3, 29. Robert Presley having a strong run in 77, and Kevin Harvick in his Winston Cup debut also having a strong run. Now, we were incorrect Saturday. I was about Harvick's plans for the Busch Series. I said he would run all the weekends where Busch was companion to Winston Cup, and that's half the story. He's going to continue to try to run all the Busch Series races and contend for that championship. So there's going to be an awful lot of late-night plane flights where those cars race with Winston Cup in different tracks on the same weekend. Behind him, Kevin Harvick.
Hey, and notice he ain't around the top no more either. He's
No.
I'm going to try it down low a while.
What a great run for Kevin Harvick, the Busch Series driver from the West Coast, tapped by Richard Childress. This car would have appeared here in black paint and the number 3 had Dale Earnhardt been with us to drive it. But Kevin Harvick, a lot on his shoulders as he drives this car for Richard Childress's team today.
Unique thing about this car, the last time this car was on the racetrack was when Dale Earnhardt, here's the story quick, the last time this race car saw a racetrack was Dale Earnhardt's win at Atlanta. Dale was so excited about Kevin finally bringing this car back to the racetrack.
Harvick moving up around the outside of Ward Burton.
Steve, there was a big debate before the team came to Rockingham this weekend on whether to bring that Atlanta winner that Dale Earnhardt beat Bobby Labonte by inches with. The car had one start, had one victory, but Richard Childress said we need to bring our best piece. We need to give Kevin Harvick everything we have to see what areas we need to work on. They definitely know one area will be the motor package because Mike Skinner and Dale Earnhardt like different engine packages. It's going to be a learning process from this weekend on.
Harvick right now has given a good account of himself. He's in 13th place. And Park slips up. Labonte on the bottom. Here he comes. It's going to be 2 laps to go.
Now, the hard part for Bobby is to get off the corner with Park to his outside. He needs the whole racetrack to be able to make the pass.
Opposite from 3 and 4. Labonte goes to the high side, Park to the bottom side.
Park's not going to get he's not going to get he's not going to give him room off that corner. Although now he's pulled down a little bit. Here we go.
He runs him all the way up to the wall in turn 3 and 4. They'll be coming for the white flag.
Here we go. Oh, he wiggled.
Labonte gets loose.
1 lap to go. This is it.
Park wiggled and got into Labonte. He's going to make a run on the outside right here. Come on, buddy.
Steve Park trying for his second Winston Cup win.
Got to run. He's got to run down the inside. Park blocks him a little bit.
Couldn't block him.
All right, Bobby's off early. He's off early. He's going to gas it hard, and here they're going to come to the line. It's going to be a photo finish.
Park has the run off the high side. He clears the body, and Steve Park scores the second straight win for Earnhardt Incorporated and the second win of his career.
Man, what a great finish. It's just so hard. Catching him was one thing. Passing him, as we always say, that's another.
Michael Waltrip last week, Steve Park this week.
Boy, and that team, that company, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, they needed that.
With an Earnhardt hat in his hand, Steve Park will drive to victory lane. His dad, Bob Park, a great modified driver who now works as a gear specialist on that car, will be among those to greet him. Let's go down to Steve Park's pit.
Paul Andrews, the crew chief, tell me what this win means to you and this entire Dale Earnhardt Incorporated team.
That is awesome. I'll tell you, that was a great run for Steve and us here at Rockingham. I mean, we've been really good here at Rockingham before, but I'll tell you, to win it like this, after the tragedy we've had this past week, you cannot ask for anything more perfect. This is awesome. Great job, everybody. It's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Steve Park turns around to wave that black hat with the number 3 to the crowd. Gone back through the first 13 cars were on the lead lap. Back through 20th place were 1 lap down. What a wild and wonderful finish.
Well, it really is, and I know Dale Jr. is probably watching the coverage of the race, and Dale Jr., I guess it'll be your turn next week, buddy. Michael got 1, Park got 1, and now maybe you can get 1 next week. Keep your chin up, young man, and I know you've had a tough week, but we love you, and we're missing you, and wish you were out there today fighting for the lead.